Hey everyone, it's Orange. Welcome to my first ever Guardian 1 Rush Hour commentary. I finally finished Guardian 1 thanks to my new defense, Fria double fire mummy Rina. Once again, I have to give a huge shout out and a very big thank you to Too Lazy to Die, a Guardian 3 player on the global server, for being my inspiration for building this defense. He's used it to get Guardian 3 for the past 5 to 6 weeks. Overall, he's a super helpful dude, super informative. He's always posting great things on Reddit. I came across him when I was doing research for farmable defenses because I don't have great options for defense, I don't feel. And I came across his posts about the mummies a while ago, and I kept an eye on him. I finally went through with it with building it, and it's really what I have to attribute my final, or my, first Guardian 1 finish to. I'm going to show you guys the runes and skill ups on my defense and my offense. I will show you my glory shot buildings, and then we will finally get into the commentary / rant. Basically, this rush hour didn't go too well at all. It was a train wreck. My offenses were terrible. I do have a lot of ideas in my head right now as to how I can fix them moving forward. I'm not an expert on double Lushen or the double mummies, so if you came here looking for expert analysis, I'm not the person for that. Too Lazy to Die is. I don't know if he's gonna want to be swamped with people asking about it, but up to this point, I've basically been imitating people's double Lushens as well as the double fire mummy defense, how they rune them, how they use them to get my current success. I know a good amount about them, but I still need to learn more, and I do know what some of those things are that I need to learn about both double Lushen and the double fire mummy. I will continue my research, and I'll be talking about what I think I can do. My offenses I do need to improve. I might look at expanding to more offenses at this point in time. I'm not exactly sure though. And research, guys. So I hope you guys enjoy the video / rant, and hopefully you might learn something from what I'm saying, I guess, but maybe not. Probably not. Okay, yes, maybe. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoy the video. Here we go. Okay, the first monster on my defense is Fria, OG. She's a gangsta. I have her on Despair, Will, Speed, Crit Damage, Attack. I built her as an attacker. That's what everyone suggests who uses her and tells people to use her for AD, because her main skill that you want to be happening is her passive. You want her to die. That is her intention, to heal everyone up. So you build her as an attacker. If she happens to not die, she can at least dish out some damage, stun some things, that sort of thing. I have her on Will for Zyros, but that's not necessary. Too Lazy to Die does not run Will on her. A lot of people suggest to run her with very high resistance for Zyros, and there might be some other things, like maybe even Water Fairy King, because I know he has like a skill reset thing. I believe that works on Fria. But I just threw her on Will and she worked fine. For the mummies, the two stats that you want to look for are around 40,000 HP for them, along with crit rate substats, so their skill that scales off of their max HP does a lot of damage. So if they survive, you want them to dish some damage back and kill those nukers who are trying to kill you. So that's what I did for them. I also looked at Too Lazy to Die's mummies and pretty much copied them. He had fairly low defense on them, like he had some defense though. No resist, you don't need them. Resist for the mummies. What else? He also had some speed, like their speeds were kind of slow though, but I wanted to keep those in mind. I saw someone post on Reddit, someone else, saying that you want 40,000 HP with crit rate on them, so that's what I did. They worked out well. And then for my Rina, she has my best runes. You can do the math to see what your Rina has to be HP wise to survive 2 Lushens. That's pretty important. Mine has my absolute best runes on her from my Ramagos, because he was the previous holder of my best runes. So she's looking mighty fine over there. with very high resistance, good defense, very good HP. My offense, I can talk about that. I will talk about that when we get into the commentary. The ideas I have for it, I'm not totally sure what I'm going to do with my offense on free rune removal. I need to sort it out though. The only change I can make is to make my faster Lushen do like 190 more damage per card or something like that. I'm not really sure. A lot of these, not a lot, some of these matches in here were like extremely close, where if I just had that damage, it could work out, but I will have to avoid Nemesis monsters if I do make him do more damage, more than I am now, because about 50% of the Nemesis monsters that I fought here cut in between my Lushens. At the moment, I can't really make them faster and maintain their damage. I'm not an expert on Lushens, but in the video I will talk about the different types of Lushens that I'm aware of, and I will keep playing with it myself. Next week I have like a lot on my mind that I will think about going into next week's rush hour to change some things and see if it goes better. I'm going to scroll through my glory shop buildings for you guys. So we are like 4 days past my Guardian 1 finish. That's why the Devilmon is showing 4 days left. There's one change that I upgraded, or two changes actually. So my Crystal Rock was actually only level 9, as you guys could see when I was setting my Double Fire Mummy. It shows in the top left corner when you set your defense what level it is. So it was only level 9, and then my Arcane Booster was one level behind this, so it was level 3. Right now it is currently level 4. So those were my glory shop buildings. Let's continue on with the rest of the video. Okay, here we are with the matches that I did. Like I said earlier, my rush hour was kind of like a train wreck. My offense like fucking sucked. I lost 4 at the beginning here, but they didn't really matter too much because later on in the rush, the last 20 minutes or so, I went 17-2, so I only had 2 losses out of 19 fights, which is definitely not good. I wanted to go flawless. Like, one loss I could have taken if I lost in, like, a good way, the enemy outplayed me or something, or whatever, but, I don't remember how the losses happened. I think it was just kind of my fault. So, I'm thinking about what I can do with my Lushens, and I'm not really sure yet. I'm not an expert on them. They've just been kind of working out okay for me. They worked out really well in my last rush hour commentary that I did 3 or 4 weeks ago, my Conqueror 3 rush hour commentary. I think I didn't get interrupted by Nemesis at all, but I think like 50% of the time, something like that, the Nemesis healers interrupt me. And I think I just need to avoid them because at the moment, I believe, like I said, I'm not an expert on Lushens, but I think there are 2 types of Lushens. Lushens that do like 60,000 damage, and really, really fast Lushens that do less than that, maybe like 50,000 damage or something. I don't know how much damage the faster ones do, but a good example of this is Shredded Puzzles. So I don't watch his videos that often, like I've only watched a couple minutes of them, just to get like snippets of things. So I took a look at one of his rush hour videos, and I think I watched maybe 5 minutes of it, and I looked at his Lushens, and I think I just looked at them to get their stats, and his Lushens are super slow, but he's been getting Guardian 3 with them. So I looked at that and I'm like, how the hell is he getting Guardian 3 with such slow Lushens? So I think his Lushens are in the category of like 60,000 Lushens. I saw something on Reddit today or yesterday. Someone commented, I don't remember who it was, but they called it the new breed of Lushens, the 60,000 damage Lushens. And I think with those, just like Shredded Puzzle, I've seen he has some ways to deal with Nemesis healers, single carding them. So I think you can single card Nemesis healers as long as the rest of the team is squishy and can be taken out by your second Lushen. But if it's like a full tank team, if it's like Praha, Kumar, Perna, whatever, single carding the Praha and then going from there probably isn't that smart of an idea. I don't know though. I really should watch more of his rush hours, and maybe I'll try to find some other people. I don't watch other YouTubers really that much though, but I think it would definitely help because I just sound like a dumbass here talking about Lushens and whatnot. I'm just being real with you guys. I'm not really an expert, But yeah, so that's the first type, the 60,000. I browse Reddit and hear things from people. And then also the faster Lushens. I wish mine were faster. I do think if you do have the 60,000 damage Lushens, the slower kind, like Shredded Puzzle, I would probably suggest that you at least have them speed tuned to move with your Bernard and Megan. If your Bernard happens to move first, I think that's really important to have them move together. And anything beyond that, though, I don't know. It gets kind of tricky, though, because your Bernard can pick up a lot of speed once you start farming R5 and getting those gems, and it might be hard to keep your Lushens up with him. So on free rune removal this coming weekend in 2 days here on Saturday, my harder hitting Lushen, the one that moves second, cannot get any better. He can't do any more damage than I have him doing right now while maintaining that speed tuning with Bernard and Megan, and I want to keep him that way. But the first one can gain some damage, which I might do, and then I might just straight up ignore Nemesis healers and not fight them. Like, that aerial just interrupted me, but I was able to pretty much take care of— oh, I think I actually lose this one. Yeah, oh, I think— didn't she just stun me? Okay, the video's going really fast and I'm not really watching because I'm thinking about my train of thought and trying to, get everything out of my head to you guys. So I might just ignore them. I do have another weekend to get more practice with this, and then finally— wait, no, I don't, because free rune removal's on Saturday. Okay, well, either way, for free rune removal, I generally take a couple days to do it. So on Saturday, I'll do the bulk of the work and get everything done that I want to get done. So usually I'll look around at my damage dealers, like my Copper Bulldozer, Theomars, Lagmaron, both of my Lushens, and I'll make sure that they're doing as much damage as possible, because I've just found that that works out very well to have that PvP focus, and I generally don't neglect other things because my Lushens are on my Giant Speed 10 team, and everything just kind of works out that way. So I'll do the bulk of the work on free rune removal, and then the next couple days, I always have so much mana for some reason. I do buy daily pack 1s, which give you 5% bonus mana. I don't know how much that actually helps or whatever, but I usually have enough mana to continue doing free rune removal later. So for the next couple days, I'll continue to think about things. It can just be overwhelming to— even my account, my monster pool isn't really that huge. I'll just, take the next couple days to fix everything, and then I lose one here. So this is still the first part of Rush where I lose 4 matches. Then when we get into the bulk of the Rush, the last 20 minutes where I pick up the pace, I only lost 2. And then here I was getting a really good feel for it. I was like, damn, every single Nemesis monster is cutting in, so maybe I should avoid those. Taking off last week was probably a bad idea. I thought it'd be nice to take a rest week, not do Rush or anything like that, and I thought I'd be fine or whatever, but maybe I should have fought last week to continue to have myself acclimated to the current people that I'd be fighting. But I tried to learn from that. The first little while here, I think this is 40 minutes until Arena closes, I was telling myself in my head, I'm all these Nemesis monsters are interrupting me, so I should probably avoid them at all costs, which is the strategy that I did before, I think, because I had some issues with my Lushens before, I would say 2 months ago, because my really good rush that I did, my past Conqueror 3 rush hour commentary, was 3 or 4 weeks ago. So before then I had a lot of issues with my Lushens. I started looking around. I watched that one Shredded Puzzle video where I realized that his were really slow. And I realized that people were getting Guardian 3 with only using double Lushen, so it was definitely my fault with them. It wasn't how my runes were or anything like that. It was just purely a user error as to what I was doing wrong, hitting the wrong team compositions. Some people may think that double Lushen is pretty brainless, but you do have to do a little bit of thinking with who you hit, because you can lose if you misuse them. This one, do I win or not? That's Sekhmet. Sekhmet generally has really bad AI on defense. If you guys are paying attention to this video, a lot of Sekhmets just do her first skill. If Sekhmet's AI ever got buffed, she would be so OP in my opinion, but that's just my opinion, right? One-time Guardian 1 finisher. yeah, the Sekhmets really gave me a problem. So I think, what loss was that? This team, I fought again actually because I had a ton of time. I think there's still like 40 minutes left. But when I hit these people and lose, it puts me on their revenge list. So I was a little bit worried about having my name on their list for them to hit. But I wanted to fight this one again to see like what actually happened. Was it my luck or what? Sekhmet right here, they never do that. They never use the proper skill. I was like, what? This person has a smart Sekhmet. How did he roll so high on intelligence on her? Haha, I get the joke. It's sort of funny. That doesn't exist in Summoner's War for anyone who's wondering. But I just straight up lose again. And then I kind of started thinking like, hey, maybe I shouldn't fight that at all because a lot of times I will pick risky fights. So this is the defense that I had set up to this point. And okay, the video's like kind of frozen or something, but I'll just skip ahead. It starts working later on. So this was the defense that I had set. It's really, really bad. Like, I'm honestly surprised that more people weren't hitting me and just blasting my ass back down to Conqueror 2, Conqueror 1 because of this defense. It was doing okay. It had some wins as well. So I might set this again because I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, since I 6-starred my Fria, she is not working on my better defense. So I did have a better one that I was using before my double fire mummy, which was Veramos, Veligul, Ritesh, Fria. Ritesh has a shield set. I think Fria's not dying, and it causes my defense to have a lower win rate. So I was using this one. I'll probably use this one again this weekend up until like whenever I set my double fire mummies, probably last 20 minutes. That worked out pretty well. Other people had double fire mummy, double Rina set as well in Conqueror 3. We can see a little bit later on, we'll see some people with that. So let me skip ahead a little bit in the video. Okay, I did some Giants runs for a little while just to kind of clear my head. I'm doing refreshes again just to keep myself pretty high up there. I didn't want to be very low when people start getting intense because I think people have started to rush later and later, and I didn't want to be low because I was afraid that people would be really tempted to bruiser my defense. I don't know how bruiserable it is. I'm thinking people might be tempted to use Theomar's Chasoon plus 2 other monsters and beat me, but it might take them a while. I do want to do more testing to see how bruiserable it is, so I'll probably go into RTA and have someone fight me. I have an awesome testing partner, Face Panda, if he's watching. I might ask him to help me out with that to see like how easy it is to bruiser, because if it's not that easy, then I might be totally fine with being a little bit lower ranked, and then next weekend I might start my rush later, like 20 minutes with 20 minutes left to go or something like that, and just climb all the way back up. We'll have to see though. In total, I did like 5 or 6 refills. I think it was more like 6, like 3 earlier on in the day, and then during rush I did 3. So now I'm setting my defense because I noticed some other people had their defenses set, so I thought that was pretty safe to do. I wasn't getting hit that much, so I'm just going to monitor that. I'm going to be checking my logs to make sure a bunch of hits don't come in by people who are bruisering me or whatever. So I'm still experimenting with Nemesis healers, and during this part of the rush, the last 20 minutes where I, really picked up the pace, I don't remember how many interrupted me, but it was about like 50-50. I want to try to pay attention to this video and see if there are other defenses that I can hit that I can get wins from, because so many people have Prahas and Aerials. I don't know, like I might have to start looking really hard, but like I said, people at the moment are using double Lushen, only double Lushen to get Guardian 3, so of course it does help if you have other offenses, but I know it's just my problem if I'm having issues finding people to hit, because there should be plenty of people to hit in Guardian 1 that I can double Lushen, because I know people are having success with only using double Lushen in Guardian 3. They can find enough people. So I might just have to do that. Just skip Nemesis healers. Not really sure though. I will figure that out before next weekend, and we will see. So this defense is actually kind of funny because Ganymede was my 4th Nat 5 from my Transcendent scroll. Thankfully Chiwu did not strip me because Megan was the only one with a will set. So I do think I got probably the odds were in my favor there of Chiwu not choosing to strip. But that was kind of funny because Ganymede actually has a super high base speed. It's like 113, I think, and Bernard's is 111. So he did outspeed me, especially with a speed leader. So that was kind of a funny match. This one is pretty much totally safe for double Lushen. I've heard some things I've seen for a while now. Orengelol's not good on defense. I watched a Claytano video. Like I said, I don't watch too many YouTubers, but I do try to watch videos that I think will be really informative to me. Like, I'm super into arena videos, like Guardian plus arena videos, you know, Guardian 1, 2, 3, that sort of thing. Mainly like 3, kind of. I don't know if there's too many other people making like Guardian 1 or 2 videos. Also, I do think Guardian 2 might be possible if I get my act together and if I do better on offense. Once again, you know, I'm not the Lushen expert, so I don't know if it's my Lushen's fault, how I have them ruined, or if it's just my fault with picking Nemesis fights that I shouldn't pick. But I do feel like it's close. Like, I do. Just a couple more wins, and I think Guardian 2 is possible. If it doesn't happen, though, no sweat, you know. Like I said, my goal is to have my Lushens as Guardian 3 Lushens, which I know they aren't. Like, their runes are just not there, so I'm just going to continue to work towards that, and then whatever happens in the meantime, whatever seems possible, I will work towards. And I do think Guardian 2 seems quite possible because it's just a couple wins off of Guardian 1. Like, at a point in this video, I was like rank 122, and then I dropped down just due to like one loss, I think. I was back to rank like 230 or something. So it's very, very close. Just a couple wins. And yeah, I think it'll be fun. But I do need to work on these offenses. This defense right here, Lushen food. No Nemesis healer unless Tiana wants to get tricky with Nemesis. Which I do think is a really cool idea. I lost to a Nemesis Orion a couple weeks ago. That was really awesome. But I was pretty confident in fighting that one. I'd be really surprised to see, like, other Nemesis monsters, but that'd be really cool to see. Okay, now this defense as well, pretty much Lushen food. So these defenses, when I see them, I feel really good inside. I'm like, this looks like a fast clear and a really safe win. Theomar's not so sure about that on defense, along with Orengelol and Huadam. Huadam, I've heard a lot of people say that he's not good on defense because everyone's cleaving anyways, and Huadam is just going to get AoE'd down, so he's not going to have his passive kick in at all because you're just killing the whole team at once pretty much. And Orengelol as well, you know, like, what's he really going to do? I don't know. So what am I doing here? I'm checking my history because one of my guild members above us, he's super awesome, super helpful. He's probably the best person in my guild. He was telling me how he does Guardian Rush. I think he's gotten Guardian 1 maybe like 4 times or something like that. And a couple of weeks ago, he was telling me that he likes to check his lists and make sure he has a good list for like the last 5 minutes or so. So I'm scoping out the people that hit me to see if I recognize any of them, like people that I beat, and I'm trying to set myself up to get some good wins. I'm very confident in my double mummies that even if I hit people on my list who beat me, that they'll have some issues with it. So I'm trying to see if there's any people there in case I get stuck, in case I can't refresh. There is like a refresh trick you can do so I'm skipping that Nemesis healer because I'm a little bit worried about it because we're getting real close here. Actually, maybe not real close, but we're in the last like 20 minutes, I think. Maybe we're getting closer because my video is kind of long. I sort of recorded raiding afterwards and forgot to stop recording. So I don't know how close we are. We can check. I think when we see the list when we go back here, we should be able to kind of estimate. So it's just like 12 minutes left, so I want to be more careful. I don't want to have any losses at all because that can be a huge setback. Double fire monster there, I just kind of wanted to avoid with the HP leader, but I probably could have fought that one. Lycas and Velajules I've found have really been no problem for me unless the Lycas on Vampire, but even then, like, for the most part, I don't have issues with them. So I'm really good with fighting that one. Fria, I'm going to avoid at all costs. Again, another Fria, because I have a cleave team, and I'm not going to be able to single card Frias pretty much, so I have to skip those. If I could single card a Fria and kill her, then double amputation afterwards, that's totally feasible. I've heard of some people using, so Shredded Puzzle actually, like, I watched a couple more minutes of another one of his videos where he fought Too Lazy to Die, and he said that he thinks he can beat the double Fire Mummy defense, the one that I'm using, Fria double Fire Mummy Rina, with Julie double Lushen Megan, and I think his strategy was to use Julie's second skill to kill off Fria very quickly, but then Fria's can be tuned to have a little bit more HP and survive that. I don't know, we'll have to see what happens with the meta or whatever if people start using Julie. So his strategy is to get rid of Fria right off the bat with Julie, double amputation magic to get the mummies low, and to kill Rina because the double amp should kill Rina, and then Julie finishes everything off afterwards with her 1,000 cards, kills the mummies if they survived at all because they're really tanky and they're fire, so the Lushens probably won't kill them. And then Chuffles had an Educate and Dominate episode, or Childish did one with Chuffles, really informative. It's like right up my alley, right exactly what I'm doing. The Guardian 1 meta seems quite similar to the Guardian 3 meta. Like, those of you who are Guardian 3 and you're watching this are probably like, haha, that's funny. But, you know, we've got the same things going on, like double Lushen, cleave teams. Well, I don't know what people are using around my ranking, but I know I'm using double Lushen, and a lot of these defenses that you're seeing are designed to be not Lushenable. So a lot of things Chuffles talked about, I could understand that. I see them at my ranking, so it was really helpful to me. So that was cool. Check out that episode. I will have it linked down below to you guys, along with Chuffles' Reddit post where he used double Rina to get Guardian 3 a couple weeks ago, maybe like 4 weeks ago or something like that. Can't remember, but I'll link it down below. And Chuffles recently got Legend as well, so grats to him. That's super awesome. Check out that Educate and wait, did I say Educate and Die? I don't know if I said that. Educate and Dominate. I'm thinking Too Lazy to Die. Yes, the D words. They're in my head. I got that D on my mind, you guys know. Lenny face. Okay, so I think this was the last one, actually. No, it's not. Okay, so we're continuing on. Some of these defenses take me to amputations to kill, but I'm totally fine with doing that because I have the time to. I just make sure that I have the time. This one, actually, the rune quality, I think, was there. Was it? Oh my gosh, no, that one was so close. Did you see how low they got? Maybe I got, and then she got 2 stuns on my Lushens. I do lose this one. This was one of the 2 that I lost out of these 19 attacks that I did in the last 20 minutes. Right there, like, I'm thinking 60k Lushens. If I put more damage on my Lushen, this was an example where I'm like, I probably would have had the kill if I had more damage on, because like I told you guys earlier, my harder hitting Lushen does not have any rune upgrades at the moment, but my faster Lushen, who hits a little bit less because he's faster, I rune him up second, he has upgrades, so he can do, I think, about like 200 more damage per card. It could have been there. I could have won that one, so I need to kind of look into that, 60k Lushens versus faster Lushens sort of thing, and see what's going on, as well as test it myself, I can't just totally rely on everyone to do all the work for me. So I'll kind of see how they're working for me, maybe talk to some of my guild members about it, and also, hear what other people are saying on Reddit and whatnot. So this one, I kind of forgot that Villagewell had the HP leader, but this defense looked like Villagewells don't give me problems. The, what do you call them? Fire, Sea Emperors, generally really squishy, so I was pretty confident that I could beat this one pretty quickly. Watching that last defense, I really feel like I should make my Lushens 60, do that change that I can make to make the first one hit a little bit harder, and then maybe I'll just try to avoid Nemesis healers more, but I will hit Nemesis healers if they're with squishy monsters. Like I was saying, if it's like Praha, squishy, 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 I can single card Praha and then amputation everything else, hopefully, and not trigger her Nemesis. Also, I have Julie. I do. Chuffles gave a shout out to Julie. He's like, Julie is freaking awesome. everyone will probably be seeing more of her because she's so good. I can also rune up Julie to deal with more things. Then, like I was saying earlier, I do need to expand my offenses at some point. That's just kind of like a natural thing that happens when you get more runes and you can build a bunch of monsters. So I'll probably be building a cleave team eventually. I'm going to hit this guy because I knew I can beat him. I wanted to save that other one for a little bit later just for extra security to hit him again and get that easy win. I mean, not like trying to bash him or anything, but I know that I have a win there that I can use to my advantage to hopefully get Guardian 1. So Julie, yeah, I have that option, and then cleave teams whenever I get back into Necro. I still need to fix my Necro team because I don't think it really works at the moment. Here's another one that was like so close. So it might just be rune quality this week. Maybe like my crits are kind of off or something. Maybe, because if I just killed everything right there, everything was so low, then I would have won for sure. But my offense was doing fine earlier, so maybe I just got unlucky crits or whatever. But if you guys have any suggestions, feel free to leave them for me. That'd be awesome if you guys could help me out. If you guys, know about Lushens, if you look at mine and you think I should do something to them, then let me know. So I just lost, and I think the time's almost coming up here for Arena to close, so I'm going to take this win again, and then I'm just going to keep fighting on through to try to find more matches. Even I'm just going to fight through the end because you never know, I might be able to squeeze out a win really quickly, and I'm just not going to give up because that win could help me get Guardian 1. So I'm gonna pick this one up and then look for another, but I know we're very close to close, just another minute or two, and I'm not too concerned with my finish. Like, I just want to keep playing, and I'm not really looking at my rank or anything like that. I know it's gonna be close. I do need to clean up these offenses for sure because I was totally not satisfied. This defense was questionable. I knew it would take me some time, but I knew that I would win it, so I'm going to try to hit it and hopefully finish in time, but I know the time's going to be really, really close. So, what did I just say? Right there again, really super close with the Chloe. I was in the middle of a thought, but I just totally forgot because I was talking about this. I don't remember. But yeah, this free rune removal is coming up on Saturday before Sunday, so I should make that change, and we'll see. Oh yeah, I was like saying, if you guys have any suggestions, feel free to let me know, and we'll see. I'm pretty confident that I will be able to finish G3 again if I just get more practice and stuff, because if you guys have been watching my videos, I've consistently finished high C3 for the past while, like rank 500, which is only like 2 wins off of Guardian 1. So I'm in that area consistently, right? It's not like I'm just going to randomly start failing. So I'm pretty confident that it'll happen again and again and again because the fire mummies are so strong. So we'll have to keep seeing what goes on. I was like really disappointed in this video though with my offenses. I was like, that's bad. It's not like anything to be proud of really. Like, this is my first Guardian 1 finish, guys. Look at how terrible these offenses were and blah, blah, blah. So I'll just, keep doing research like I've always been doing. I'll look into my Lushens, see what I can do about them, see what I should do about them, and continue on forward. Keep farming those runes until my Lushens are Guardian 3 Lushens, and then I'll just keep going with the flow. If the meta changes, the meta changes. Ain't nothing you can do about that. If everyone starts using double fire mummies, I'm sure, because they're so farmable and so accessible, I'm sure people are going to come out with ways to beat them. If that happens, then I will adapt and I'll have to build a new defense, but for the moment, it's totally awesome that that exists and that double Rina has done quite well for a while and also achieved high ranks. I forgot to show you guys the runes of the defense that I used when I wasn't using the fire mummies. So for the first 40 minutes, I was using Veramos, Theomars, Ritesh, and Bernard. So let's check out the runes. I did try my previous defense, so up to this point for the past 5 weeks or so, I've been using Veramos, Veligul, Ritesh, and Fria. But I think since I 6-starred Fria, she's surviving more because Ritesh does have a shield set along with Veramos's HP leader skill. So that defense's win rate went down, so I had to switch to this one that I'm showing you right now, Veramos, Theomars, Ritesh, Bernard. And this defense that I'm showing you, I think has about like a 20 to 22% success rate, if that means anything. We can check it out. Maybe we can get some insight on it in a second here when I check my logs for this week. Here's Ritesh, the final monster. I already showed Bernard earlier in the video. Ritesh is using some kind of bad runes. He did have to donate his slot 4 and 5 to the mummies. One mummy got one of them and the other mummy got the other. So, but he still works out, you know, being a nat 5 helps with higher base stats and stuff like that. And let's check out so I'll show you the defense so you can get a visual image of it right here. This is the other defense that I used. And then I set the mummies for the last 20 minutes. Let's check out my success rate. So this week, I'm pretty sure I had it up almost all week. There was a brief period of time where I had just Fria, so it has somewhere around there, 25%, somewhere around there, right? I don't know if that helps you guys, but I just thought I'd throw that number out there. So that was that. That's the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Catch you guys later.